you and your significant other are talking about getting married, sometimes something that may come up by one or both of you is a prenuptial agreement. And prenup agreements are not just for people that have a lot of assets, it could be for the average person. One of the reasons that a person might consider a prenup is because it simplifies things in the event that you go to divorce. So a prenup can be used for many different things. Commonly, people think of it as, a case where someone has a business or family business and they don't want interference in the event of a divorce. But it can protect anything. And a lot of people these days are using prenups because they want to make sure that the debts that their spouse incurs are not going to become their debts. Because in a marriage, many people are mistaken. Debts that accumulate in your spouse's name alone, even if you're unaware of them, when you go to get divorced, you're going to be responsible to pay towards those debts, even if you didn't know they even existed. Anything accumulated during the marriage here in Pennsylvania is marital, regardless of how it's titled. So a prenup can shield you if you have a spouse that you want to, or a soon to be spouse you want to marry that happens to spend a lot of money or accumulate a lot of debt. It can protect you from that because you can put that in your prenup. And if you do have assets that you accumulated before your marriage or that you expect to accumulate because you work a lot and your spouse maybe doesn't, but you're still in love and want to get married, you can protect yourself by getting a prenuptial agreement. And why would you need a lawyer when you could just go right on AI and create your own? Well, a lawyer's going to know the law in your state. And one of the challenges when you go to get divorced is that, you weren't informed by a lawyer. So in our office, for example, we require that there be two attorneys. And if there are not two attorneys, one for each of you, then we would want a waiver from the other party that they were advised they could have an attorney, because that makes the prenup more solid in the event that you go to get divorced. So when you have a prenup drafted and the purpose is to protect you in the event of divorce, we are going to tell you what to expect in the event of a divorce so that you can think about what things you might want to include. But a prenup can also be used in the event of death, because when you get married, your spouse is going to have a statutory right to a percentage of your assets. And if you can have a prenup that allows your will to make that determination, you can do that as well. Because even if you have a will and you don't leave anything to your spouse, if you don't have a prenup, they're still going to be able to take some of your assets in the event of death. So it is something to consider. It doesn't mean that you're greedy, and it doesn't mean that the marriage is in trouble. It is a smart decision to consider a prenup in the event that you're considering investing in this person in a lifetime together when you get married.